Oh yeah, welcome in, y'all. Welcome in, friends. SR, my crew. Make that XRP go up, baby. Hey, Katie. Jen R, good to see you. Found a link. Maybe you guys have recognized it already, but I transposed it onto my Google Earth map. So there's a small update, but it's an interesting update considering everything that's happened with the Jack and Lily case and the situation with old Happy Hands Danny. It is SA charges. Some of the statements that Malaya Brooks Murray gave the responding officer that she took down was she mentioned that Danny and his daddy, Earl, have a patch of land up near Barney's River. Well, Barney's River is right near where Danny and Malaya took their first date on that Big Island beach where Danny was wanting to take her back so he could be the man he was when they first went on their first date. Like, what is that saying? Hey, I'm going to be that dude that I just was 2 days before, 2 days after meeting you on Facebook dating. Dude, you are tripping. And this all has to do because we have every reason in the world to are convinced that Daniel's responsible for the incident, the fate of Jack and Lily. There's still a question of, well, what did he do with them? Of course, if you're a fan of statement analysis and linguistic cues and have been following the case since the beginning and watching Mike DeMann, a great statement analyst, he is convinced through a lot of the leaks that Danny has disposed of the bodies in that sense in the ocean. He just can't figure out where. That's where I started thinking. Not that he hasn't, but that's where I picked up in that sense. For the sake of this particular broadcast or podcast. That's what I just, I took the preferably like the suspects to tell me as an investigator what it is that they did upon further questioning. And of course, that is going to come down the line. We're not in that position. Sadly. That's what got me thinking to this scenario, and I would consider it an early linguistic cue, perhaps, maybe leakage, as to what happened in this whole process. And wouldn't you know it, I went to Google Earth and I searched up Big Island Beach, New Glasgow, Nova Scotia. And it tagged up one of my earlier points when I was looking around as a possible dump site, we'll call it. On one side of the highway, we've got water where you could walk waist deep. On the left side, you've got miles and miles of break wall, rocks of different sizes, isolation away from everybody. That was the site of their first date, Malaya and Danny's. I decided to go out and take a look to figure out where this waterfall was he was talking about. And I didn't get further. Then it dawned on me, there's everything right here that would be perfect if you had to dispose of a body. You've got elements, the rocks, the reason to be parked on the side of the road, cover, the fact that nobody's out there on May the 1st. It's a little early. It's not going to be like the summer where there's all kinds of people coming and going. And it's a busy spot for people sunbathing and picnicking. Ain't nobody picnicking at that time. Well, Vivalda girl, yeah, of course, many people probably have. But when I put it together in context on my little pin map on Google Earth, it really stood out to me. It really stood out to me. And I'm not trying to say I have breaking news here. It's just a talking point. And it's a good point. It's a good point. There's a strong possibility because you think about what Daniel Martell and Janie did. Or should we say didn't do? You could say both things. In the time immediately after Malaya Brooks called the RCMP, called 911 at 10:02 a.m. on May the 2nd. For the next 48 plus hours, they did everything they could to avoid any sort of interaction or long-term conversation with the cops under the guise of just searching. There was long patches of time where they avoided taking any electronics with them like you do when you're in an emergency. Or I should say, when you're guilty in a situation. My point is they had ample opportunity and they were covering for each other. Right? They had to bring in all of these people just as a reason to not be around and talking to police in that sense. They always have a reason. They're too busy with the search because at that point in time, they're too busy convincing people that they walked into the bush. And then when they get presented with their own, with the question back on them, they want to spin and change what it is that they think happened by telling you all of the things that didn't, or the reasons that it's not believable. We've been down this road before many times on the daily with these people. We get it. We have to remember, we have to keep reminding ourselves when we're imagining what the possibilities are, there could be several. It could be all of the above, A, B, C, and D. Because there's two children that could have suffered different fates slightly. They could be in different spots. Daniel had all the time in the world to bring in his buddies, the Pipeline Boys on Saturday, a reason to be up in that area. But I wanted to start off with the one that stood out to me. This one gets me, especially at this point in time when, we should have been, if we were on the ball, we would have recognized the assault right away. Wouldn't we? We just took for granted that they were together and it didn't stand out to you. But, the charges being brought against Daniel has been talked about since the beginning, out in the open, talked about in the Globe and Mail. Shame on us maybe for not recognizing it because we were too upset, being angry at and trying to look for blame in that sense. Welcome, Pualu. Is that a Datsun? Oh shit. Oh, anyway, let's get on with things, friends. We'll go over there in a second. It's all part and parcel of the things that we're talking about here tonight. So what I was getting at, just to finish that thought, you can't say for certain that the kids, should they be deceased, are together at this point in time or they're separate. We don't know. Keep your mind open to all of the possibilities. There's all kinds of cues that would have been a major factor of the cognitive load going on in Janie and Daniel and Malaya at the time, especially that Malaya was just reciting or parroting anything that Daniel tried placing in her head. You know what I mean? So it makes sense and it's a strong possibility. Daniel had all of the time over the next 48 hours to do all kinds of things. Was he under surveillance? Who knows? Well, in a sense he was. But there was a priority focused on the kids were somewhere in that bush. You didn't see your kids within 30 seconds, 2 minutes, they're not in the bush. That's my personal opinion, but it doesn't make sense for them to have this reason to be out and about at an ever further pace, as if the kids have really walked that far to begin with, or could have gotten that far. It's just an exercise of avoidance in recognizing the scenario should you be in it. And they're covering up for themselves. And they couldn't not stop putting shade and trying to frame, if you will, publicly frame Malaya as being responsible. And there's not even a crime that has been committed here to begin with. Daniel, Derwood, Janie. This is their narrative in that sense. And it's so fucking ridiculous. Trying to convince people that Jack and Lily aren't actually missing and there's nothing really to see here. Yo, Shannon. Cali OG, what's up? Let's see. Imagine rolling over and waking up to Danny's face, LMAO. That's the... So, when you think about things in context, now that we're filtered through all of this information over time together, and you zoom out and just close your eyes and imagine the 6 weeks before May the 2nd and the 6 weeks after, we're talking about when you go and listen to Tint's interview with Wade, that was taken, really the last time they saw them was on Easter, which at that point in time was, I believe, the third weekend in April. So in another 7 or 8 or 9 days thereabouts, just a week or so after you're just all over there, this happened. That they never want to really commit to saying what it is. The incident. There's the incident, then there's the cover-up. And then there's more than that to this. So the kids had just been they were just at Cindy and Wade's within the week. That's when Daniel was out in the woods getting high, avoiding everybody. Came out looking all green and things, all different colored skin. Things aren't going very well if you're going over to the in-laws, right? You're going over to the in-laws and you're avoiding even talking to them. There's something already going on. There's something festering in that sense. He's already avoiding, so there's something's up. She's got a new car, right? Daniel's getting ready, and what's the things that they were conflicting over had everything to do with finances and money and how irresponsible Daniel was, that he was prioritizing the substance use over the family in that sense. It's affecting the kids. It's affecting the family, the quality of life. Oh, thank you very much, Shannon. Super sticker high five to you in Australian. I'll give you a left high five. Let me see here. I don't know what's going on with my alert box. But I see you. See if this works. Something going on with it. I'll have to empty out the cache or something. I don't know. It's supposed to make noise and bing bong and do all kinds of funky things. Anyway, Staff Warrior, that's when it was mentioned that Jack doesn't like Daniel. Yeah, there's conflict between Jack and Daniel specifically. Jack didn't want to go home from school in that sense, and that's a credible claim at this point in time. It's not just speculation. These are facts, interpretations of the teachers, and after talking specifically to Jack. Could the woodpile in the shed have fallen on them? Lots of stain. Oh, I'm sure that's all that happened, I'm sure. Things always get a lot worse in a DV relationship after CPS checked in December to May. How were there no other interventions by any adult family member or professional? I don't know, Julia. We're going to find out. Keep the questions in the back of your mind, because we're going to get there at some point. Let's have a read of this. I don't think you've had enough smut for the day. Now, you guys sitting down? Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Oh, shit. Trigger warning. Here we go. Oh, my God. Danny. Now, this is the type of thing. So we know that Danny just met Malaya on Facebook dating. 2 weeks moved into Patty's. Oh, you better be on to something, Shawinigan. Why don't you call that into the RCMP? Are you just getting to know the case? I don't think so. Or are you in here just talking smack? If they had gone into the forest, they would have played in the fort first before venturing further. They didn't even go outside. First, they're just known to wander. It was implied onto police that they were out there, and this is something that's normal. Just this time, they haven't come home. And then they've completely did a 180 on that claim and talk about how it's not, they've never would have wandered when they need when they need it more to look like a stranger abduction. You can't have it both ways in that circumstance. They've claimed both. Tash, you can only listen to these messages with headphones because otherwise it's super embarrassing when somebody walks in the room. Oh yeah, Daniel's talking about his hard chicken, his John Thomas. Are you ready? Here we go. Tomorrow, if you fall asleep, I'm just going to have my way with you. Sweet dreams, babe. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to CUM inside you tomorrow after graping you, so I'll be riding your clothes off and forcing you legs apart to buy my hard COCK inside. If you scream of beg me to stop, I'm going to frig you harder. Holy shit. What? Can you imagine this came out? This is Janie's son. That's how Janie likes her love. This was actually probably a text message meant to go to Janie as opposed to being sent to Taylor at this point in time. That's Daniel talking to this new girl he's schmoozing from Facebook dating, of course. Big star. House music, word up. And then he goes on to blame spellcheck, of course. I love you, sexy. Come down whenever, just message. Yeah, we'll get right on that there, pal. Holy shit. He certainly has a way with words. How's that SO charge treating you, Danny Bernardo? LMAO, get FKKKD, says the real Norb Beaster. Darlene, says, with all of the rugs in his system, he probably can't keep it up, sick SOB. Kelly says you're nasty. I don't know why you would ever send that to somebody. Especially somebody you like. That's like something that you'd send your enemy, and that's what you're going to do to your enemy's mom or something like that. This is completely different. What the fuck is this? You're going to what? That's something you say to like the opposing basketball team on the court. When you need to intimidate your opponents on the field, that's how you talk about their sisters and their moms. That's not how you talk to ladies that you like. But maybe this is different. Holy Hannah. Now, that is something else, boy. I'll never forget that. I'll never, ever forget that, Danny boy. You certainly have a way with words. That's like a... Oh, hold on. So she goes on. I got to read these. This is with the conversation, I think, with the person who was on the receiving end of that message. I was just curious if you thought her or her boyfriend would help him out in a pinch like he was down at the railroad tracks the night of Jack and Lily vanishing. I'm really not sure. He seemed really nice. I don't think she would be the type to help him if he did something to Lily and Jack, but I only met her for 5 minutes talking about Janie. Sounds like. But in my opinion, he did something Thursday night, early Friday morning. And Malaya was asleep with Meadow, and that's how she passed the test. Well, you're really thinking there. Let's see. Anything important? Okay. What does this one say? Oh, let's do it again. Oh, yeah. I love this one. This stinks of coercive control. Wait. Are you ready? Gross. Okay. Get into character. Good answer, babe. I'll tell you something. I got more people asking if I have a girlfriend. I said no. I know I lied. I don't like lying, but I want you to live a normal life as much as possible before you become the center of attention. You're going to be put all over the internet. People will probably make up lies saying that you took the kids and all that stuff. But in reality, I don't care what people think because I love just being ourselves. So he's associating his notoriety to their new relationship. Can you see it? I like being seen with you in public because I love you, and that's what's important. I lied for you, not for me. That whole setup, Ditzy Blonde, welcome, darling. Oh, dude, this dude is entitled. He's part of the elite now. Fucking Elon. He's like Elon. I like being seen with you in public because I love you. And that's what's important. What? What's important? The love? The love's important? Dude, this fucking guy is so full of shit. This is the type of love bombing, right? He's caught up in this same cycle. I lied for you, not for me. Clear manipulator. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for lying for me. Oh, now I can tell that you really love me and you're trustworthy. Uh-huh. Let's see. Let's hear you throw Malaya under the bus. Some weird things just happened outside. That's why I never message. Why do you keep telling this person why you're not messaging them? You want to fall asleep together on the phone? I want to listen to you sleep. Yeah, Malaya trying to throw me under the bus now. Leaked messages from her. She's backed in a corner now. Her and her mother did it, I believe, with a 99% accuracy. All right, Kreskin. This fucking guy isn't all that bright, is he? No. Who the fuck even talks like that? Somebody who is trying to impress another person because they're that person that they see in the news. That's me. Only I'm innocent. Look at how important I am. I'm just in the middle of all of this attention. Everybody's giving me so much attention. I love it. I don't know what to do with it. Don't know how to control myself. Calio G. Earl owns 100 acres of land, and there's a river right there next to the property. I think needs to be checked with sonar. The river? Fuck it. Just go in there with your... Get in there and check it. I could need sonar. Need sonar for the ocean. But it's going to be a lot better to have them tell us. You'd really like to know what it was that intrigued Malaya Brooks so much after 2 weeks. Was it that fabulous trailer bathroom pic in his literacy stylings or his literary stylings? That's fucking funny. Probably. Oh shit. Well, fucking wrong one. It's wrong sound effect. Oh, roast battle. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on, get back here. So there's this constant need to put all of the blame onto Malaya, of course, making himself look better for these newbies that he's meeting. Yeah, that's me, girl. That's me, all right. You like the way I look, my pretty? Let's see. That's the lying. I lied for you, not for me thing. Let's see. Because I want to show you these messages. They're brought to you by up on It's a Criming Shame. Oh shit, listen, before you go anywhere. Oh no, that's a different one. That's the same one we just read a few minutes ago. What's this say? You get to see me tomorrow. Oh, thank God. You get to see me tomorrow, girl. He really thinks a lot of himself, doesn't he? He's a great self-promoter. Look at how sexy I am. Look at how sexy I am, especially all fucked up on this mathematics. You get to see me tomorrow. Then you get to lay beside me as much as you like as I feel you up and touch and kiss you. This case could be over soon. This is like a Dick Tracy novel. Like a dirty Dick Tracy novel. This case could be over soon. Malaya just slipped up and told the lady that she knows where the kids are. See, it's not just Derwood in all of this nonsense. It's not just Derwood, Darren Geddes, who parrots this information. It's been sourced from the suspects, like this asshole. He's been pushing this narrative along with Janie since the beginning and using douchebag by proxy. But now that we're here and we can see it, you can understand it. Oh, Malaya just slipped up and told the lady that she knows where the kids are. Well, fuck, better tell the RCMP. I just got off the phone with the lead major crimes investigators and told them. Oh, I really hope so. Malaya fucked over. Now here we go. This is a great spot. This part down at the bottom here. Malaya fucked over my life, so I'll do whatever it takes to see her in prison. That's a revenge, retaliation. That sounds illegal, Danny. That sounds like the threat that you told her before she left. You're the only person since the disappearance that came into my life that I'm thankful for. I had to install my aunt's internet. That's why no messages earlier. And yes, I know how to do a little of everything. This fucking guy. He's gaslighting her with a time schedule to try to gain her trust and normalize keeping tabs on the other person, monitoring their locations. A control tactic. This guy's a fucking knob, dude. What an idiot you are. You're like worse than a scammer. You're worse than a rando scammer on the internet. Oh, I'm just loving talking to you on my phone. I don't know if I want to meet you, girl. You're just so sexy on this phone. Damn, I don't want to ruin my image that I've fabricated in my mind. You're so sexy. I'm afraid that if I meet you, that you're not going to live up to the high standard that I've set. Malaya fucked over my life, so I'll do whatever it takes to see her in prison. Woo! That's an embedded admission. Whoops, excuse me. What does this say? Yeah. Hey, people are stupid. Baby, I hope you're not watching anything online about me. I hope you're not watching that A-Balance fucking show on the YouTubes. So she's saying, yes, he made me delete every guy who wasn't family off my Facebook and made me deactivate my Instagram. Made me show him all my contacts in my phone. You can't be a fucking cop, honey. And I wasn't allowed watching YouTube, but I obviously still did. Was this the contract that you had to sign before you started dating Daniel? Old Danny Weinstein. Oh, shit. Surprised you didn't get a casting coach call before anything. That probably happened too, but yeah. Why did he spend so much time alone with Jack and Lily? Truth forums? Because they were all living together. What was he going to do? Come out of the pool room and spend his time in the games room? I don't think so. This is a fucking trailer with rotten floors, bro. Fucking floors. You're falling through the floors. They got tarps in the goddamn things. Rats in the walls, apparently. Chickens out back living better than they do. I was over at Mike's, and he was going back and forth. I think it was Mike's. And he was going back and forth between August 2024 and now. Or August 2025. And the only difference that you can really see is the addition of that tweaker pleasure palace, that fucking RV, and the gate. So it was relatively new. There was a period of time, it looks like, if the pictures are accurate, that I'm interested in how their experience was when they all lived in the trailer together before the RV. Like, how long were they all under the same roof together? And what was the trigger that made Janie move out? So really, it hadn't been a full year, or it's been around a year since she's been in that RV that doesn't run. Interesting food for thought. We're going to get to know these things. I can't wait until the body cams are able to be FOIA'd. We can watch something like their interviews, their behavior on that particular day. I'm so intrigued by this brouhaha, this Donnybrook that happened at the end of the driveway where Haley called out Danny for tweaking out in the bathroom, and Janie fucking was throwing them off, was scratching them, pulling their hair. That's going to be so fucking amazing, bro. That's going to be even bigger than this SA charge. Like, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. People are in my chat this morning talking about how that douchebag, the alcoholic ostrich, is dismissing this. Of course he would. Don't even buy it. Don't even buy his nonsense. But people can't help but go over and try to tell him that he's incorrect in certain things. Well, you can't convince him. He's in love with Daniel and Janie, and that's his meal ticket. He's not going to consider anything else. This is his own long distance relationship. That's a fantastic thing. You've seen it before. There's people of all kinds here on YouTube, and he's one of those. You're assuming that this guy is normal to begin with. He's probably a serial, butt pirate himself. She says, I 1,000% wish I never met him, meaning Daniel, or ever contacted him. Yeah, he threatened to call CPS on me and a bunch of shite because of the stuff I made up. Because of stuff I made up. He didn't know anything about my real life. But it shows what kind of a person he is, especially when he feels like he's losing control. Very poignant gal here, this Taylor. Huh. Major Crimes wouldn't have come talked with me for an hour and recorded everything if they thought he was innocent. Well, isn't that interesting? Just another hour of interviews we get to watch. Put that on the list. So here we go. There's Jordan the crazy bastard. Someone was asking me what Jordan looked like. That's crazy Jordan right there. Can you believe that his old lady left him? He's such a cuddly he's like a little gremlin. So these are all a collection of statements from Daniel. Early on in the investigation. Early on in the case. Detective Tam, you're saying Danny's a very vindictive person? I don't know what his problem is. He's stuck on stupid for sure. Let me see. Where? Yeah, you can see that. So let me read this to you. I'm not being negative towards Malaya. I love her, but I never lie because that's just not me, says Daniel. He's lying right now. I never lie. Like, this is the topic of his conversation. Honey, just so you and I know, listen, I want to talk about how I never lie, baby. Now, do people who are normally truthful focus on things like this at any one point in time? Never. But I'm telling you, I'm not a liar. You just don't want to believe me. No. It's the topic. It's the topic. Let me see. Uh-oh. Don't talk. It just had an error. Hold on. Poor quality. You might experience some buffering, but we're gonna walk it out here. I think I prepared before I came live. But everything's okay. Let me close out some things. Take evasive action. It's all good. It's all good. We're not going anywhere. Let me read this to you. It's saying dropped frames. I'm having some alerts come off, my friends. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. We'll continue. Are you experiencing any buffering? Do I sound okay? Let me know in my chat. Poor Jordan, his dad broke his ribs. Do you believe that, trail hiker? I'm not sure I believe any of that, though. I apologize. You don't lie, babe. Oh, thank you for being here, Odessa. Cognitive dissonance, the psychological discomfort that occurs when reality conflicts with what someone has believed or invested in, leading them to defend the lie rather than adjust their worldview. I think it goes a little bit beyond that, Debbie Roberts, but I know where you're getting at. Yeah, it's a thing. No buffering? That's good. Sound is good? Thanks, guys. It makes me feel better. I'll just let it go. Maybe it's just... I'll let it not... I'll focus on it not. I'm just worried that it drops or something on me. But it's okay. I'll read this to you, and we'll go and... I've a lot of things open, so I have to close them up. It's probably that Google Earth. Now it says it's not bad. It's okay, apparently. So hit that like button. Maybe give it a moment. We'll be okay. So let me see here. Oh my God. Hold on. I closed myself out. Wrong button. I don't know why. This is why you can't allow me on the space shuttle. Whoops. Too many of those. You got to be on the ball. Now it says I'm not sending any data, but my stream status is healthy, excellent, 652. Okay, everything's good. Holy shit. What the fuck is going on? It's all good. We're fine. Holy man. I apologize. I can edit that out later. So these were taken from It's a Criming Shame a while ago. I screenshot them, but this is Danny in the way that he's talking about the situation at the time. But none of it's ever true because we constantly read things about his disparaging comments towards Malaya. They've all initially, the first things that they said to cops was how suspicious Malaya and her family were in all of this, as opposed to themselves, right? It's them who are suspicious. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And guess who? Her mother seized her phone and probably has her car keys. I know this because when my cousin called her phone on private number, so Daniel was in on that little escapade in the prank calls. You see what's going on here? The influence with that scuzzball Logan, that catfish. My mother her mother seized her phone and probably has her car keys. I know this because when my cousin called her phone on private number, her mom picked up and said, Malaya's phone, who's this? Her mother has something over her head of some kind. Your mother, as opposed to just a bond like their mother-daughter. Her mother's got some sort of control over her. Yeah, it's her mom. You fucking idiot. He's suspicious of the mother-daughter link, the bond, the healthy familial environment. If it's not toxic, you don't trust it. Her mother has something over her head of some kind. After her and her mother talked, Malaya was not the same seemed. Something. She wasn't the same, we'll say. Now, get a load of this one. Daniel, did you know, buddy, that spell check that you always yell at is actually there to correct your spelling? not to fight with. You keep fighting with the spell check like you actually know how to spell the word, as opposed to what the spell check tries to correct you towards. You got misplaced anger. Now, you got your pens and papers out, friends? What is this word? P-H-Y, phi, P-H-Y-S-I-C-O-P-A-T-H. I'll have to challenge that word, Alex. Physiosociopathy. A what? A psychopath. A psychopath. It's almost like a... No. Don't do any interpreting. He's trying to say 3 different fucking things with one made-up word. Don't try to interpret it. Just try to figure it out what it is, which one of these things he's trying to say. A psychopath? Sociopath? A combination of the two? As a psychic? What? He doesn't know the difference. That's the point. He doesn't know the difference, but he keeps wanting to use these words like he's done, like he's part of this Dunning experiment, this Dunning-Kruger condition. No, if it were psychopath, there wouldn't be an S and I in it. Brandy Lindy, I'm sorry. You can't be correct with that. Whatever. She's a psychopath. I know that because she displays the traits. She displays the traits. She displays of the traits of whatever the fuck that word is. Oh my God. What exactly are those traits? Oh, she likes chocolate ice cream. She likes walking on Big Island Beach. She might even take her shoes off and frolic about in the water. She's a P-H-Y-S-I-C-O-P-A-T-H. I know that because she displays the traits, and I was only waiting for on trait to be exposed, and that was no empathy, and I finally seen it on full display. When she never shed a tear the day of the disappearance. It's fucking beyond sad. My heart breaks for Malaya. Now he's pitying Malaya. You see this? Why? What is it you're exactly trying to say here? Like, explain what it is that Danny's trying to say in this message. This is the type of fucking grizzled and nonsense that he expects you to swallow. She's a triceratops. I know that because she displays all the traits. You don't. That word doesn't even exist, Danny. So therefore, how could any of the rest of your statement be true? It's not. This is an example of disparaging and trying to talk about Malaya in a way that brings suspicion towards her, away from you. Holy shit. That's probably my favorite message so far. Like, you are fucking stupid. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop. The next set of messages reads, Malaya's time of 10 a.m. is false. We can leave it at that. She refers to me as her partner. It is weird too. She never does wording like that. I love her more than anything. I'm sure you do. God, you spent so long together. That will never change. I'm waiting for that chance to relive our first date. ARE first date. Over waterfalls and a walk on Big Island Beach with the Daniel you first met. That's better than KFC, I guess. could have fucking brought a picnic, but no, you're bringing the Daniel you first met. You mean as opposed to the one that's just murdered your children, or red rummed, unalived? She will know what that means. Really? So here's a coded message from somebody, as if you weren't clear enough. That the Daniel you first met wasn't clear enough. But you have to add, she will know what that means. Could he be that stupid? Oh, I think so. Malaya asked me when noticed the kids were gone, should I call the police? The fucking kids are gone. What else should you do? My mom was napping and came outside. The door, it did everything so fast. She said they're gone when we were both outside. No, I ran through the house searching every room. Then ran outside the back sliding door. It did everything so fast. What's it? She said they're gone when we were both outside. Boy, this is a really poor attempt of... Thank you. I'm buffering, Jenar. It's a poor attempt. Well, hopefully this thing sorts itself out. Stop now, SR is just doing it. You'll get some momentary ones. I apologize for that. Usually it's pretty good. So he goes on to say, no, only with me because Malaya rarely ever went outside with them. I ran through the streams up to my waist many times. I could have slipped on a wet rock, hit my head and died. Or fall on a stick or branch and get impaled and die. I did it for the kids, and the world will never see that. So he comes back on this little part in the bottom. This is what I get a kick out of. Hold on. Not that one. Let me get back here. This right here. You see this part right here to your left center? It says, remove all that from yesterday. Remove it! Now! If it paints Malaya in a bad light. Like, this guy is such a manipulator in that sense. What if he's got a feeler out there. Now he's making her delete all the messages that he sent. Like, dude, shouldn't it be you who shuts his fucking mouth if you're so concerned? Why do you have to put that onto somebody else to delete everything that you said? Remove all of that from yesterday. Remove it now! It paints Malaya in a bad light. Just please remove it. People are attacking Malaya. Detectives told me. I'm sure they did there. This fucking guy. So that's when I switched over to... I had to go see where this Big Island beach was. And that's where we are right here. This is Big Island Beach. See everybody here? This is in August 2025. There's vehicles. This is a public place. It's probably where they went out and walked on the beach. That's out in the Atlantic right there. Northumberland Strait. This is inland on the other side. It looks like it has tides affect it as well. So at some point, maybe there's a waterfall where this empties out into the ocean. But you see on the side there, you have all kinds of access to stone, old field stone. This is an old break wall for a storm wall. So where people pull off. You put some of those rocks in the sweaters that old Danny says that are missing. You could have yourself a package. 2 small packages weighted down. All you had to do was put them in the water. And they would be out of sight. At least for a while. That's what it looks like when the tide's up a little bit, it seems. Seems like the water's come over that sometime or another. This is October 2021. But May would be the same, only in the spring, right? Just as chilly. Especially May 1st. Still a tad nipply. In most parts, especially here. Zooming out on it. So when there's Big Island Beach right there. That's where it has its tab. So it's a long stretch of beach. So here's Lower Barney's River comes out on Big Island Beach. Mike, for those of you who are Mike Demands fans, this is Danny Martell's first date site with Malaya. Barney's River. I think his land is... Barney's River goes all the way back here where I have it marked. Somewhere back along this stretch of road, they have a woodlot that backs onto Barney's River, I believe. Now the river's right here. The river's only this. So he knows this area. This is a fishing area. Water. He's got access to it. He knows how isolated it is. He trusts it mostly. Now, Mike can't figure out, he says, I know he can, just for the sake of making videos, but Mike says that he can't decide on where the bodies would, or where he would choose to go. And I would say that this would be my strong number 1 choice. First of all, the tweaker frequents it before he met Malaya, so it's already in his modus operandi in that sense. Anastasia, thank you. That's very generous of you, darling. And that isn't very far in total from where they are. This is New Glasgow, just the other side of New Glasgow. So I'll put that on the screen. You can see it. Hell are we here? So Jack and Lily's place is right here. New Glasgow. Here's Jordan Getty's and Darren Getty's RV Oasis. Jordan and Darren's mom's house on that little lake. We know that they traveled up that area. And it's literally just right down the road. Lower Barney's River, Big Island Beach, Danny Martell's first date with Malaya. AV, does it show Blackbrook Falls? I have no idea what that is. You can go onto Google Earth and search it yourself, Helicopter Grandma. I wonder if they checked the lake behind Jordan's house. Only for broken math pipes, which they found a lot. I wish we... What does that say? I wish we could Google Earth the side roads, waterfall areas too. Well, why can't you? There's not really that many. No, put that down, darling. Thank you. That's my new cream. It's not to eat. You wonder if he threatened to do something to the kids many times over when he did? Maybe M wasn't sure if he was bluffing. I flip-flop from thinking, well, listen. Jupo, this situation escalated. Hold on, please. Let me see that. Where is that comment? Hey, Blue Heron. The RCMP did attend Jordan's on the tip of the kids were seen at his place on May 1st. Yeah, they did, Trailhiker. He was tripping about that. Jordan was all upset and pissed about that. He should be pissed that his buddy's going to be on the sex offender registry. If you Google Black Brook Falls is the waterfalls that DM mentioned to MBM2, how do you know that? It does not show on Google Earth, but if you Google it, it is in Pictou County. Okay. I'll do that later. Oh, geez, how fucking romantic. Oh, you want me to go back and show you how Daniel was when they first met? So what does that tell you about the type of kook he is? It tells you that he's afraid to be himself. You can't just be yourself in a relationship. You've got to act out. You've got to be something that you're not. Is that what women really want? I don't think so. You've got to do a lot of pretending. That's exactly what got you into this mess, asshole. That got you into this mess. You couldn't be yourself. You couldn't sustain being something that you weren't. Malaya didn't like that. This isn't no farm. It's a goddamn, it's literally the barn. You live in a barn. Shit's falling down all over the place. There are photos on Google Earth, but you can't walk near them to check it out. Okay. You believe he threatened her with hurting the kids. Yeah, I don't believe it's the first time. I believe he threatened her with hurting the children back in December. That's why she couldn't leave then. When he realized she was serious and after tweaking for a few days, nights, he decided to punish her. I don't know about that. I think it was a reactionary thing. I don't have to know that detailed yet, by just a guess. What makes you say that? That's why so many women stay single, Bonza Ozzy. Sheila, what are you saying, girl? Don't be a man-hater. Don't hate the player. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Is that what they say? That's why so many women stay single, rats and all. Good to see you, Brian. AB, so Jack and Lily are missing. MBM left with Meadow, and DM had to mention the beach in Blackbrook Falls, red flag, and said, you will know what that means. I don't know where you're saying he mentioned Blackbrook Falls. He mentioned the waterfalls. I don't know where you're getting that Blackbrook from. He's probably chased that day ever since with her. The day he met her was their point. It was all down from there, I'd say. Like they only knew each other for 2 weeks. Just when you're realizing some of the things that you don't want to be with somebody over, he didn't even give enough time for that. He's like, you're going to accept me for everything, and that's it. I'm in. Listen, you love me. I love you. We were made for one another. I was made for loving you, baby. Girl, you know it's true. He moved himself into Patty's. He imposed upon her life. Just phew. River Rat, these people remind me of where I grew up in the Ozarks. That movie Writer's Bone brought back a lot of memories, and now these inbreds seem like they're straight out of the movie or Deliverance. Well, in a way they do. That's for sure.
Any news about the two guests?
I never really heard nothing.
Never heard anything?
They don't say too much. It's only that boy that did it. I still say the boy.
The Danny Martell, the stepfather.
He's on meth.
He's on meth.
He sells meth. And he makes it. He don't like the kids. He beats the kids and beats their daughter.
That's why I'm
But her
saying.
daughter might know more than she's saying. I said, your daughter's lying. You must know what happens. Only 3 people in the thing.
Exactly.
We had to do polygraph and everything. Cause
You did a polygraph too?
yeah, because we used to drop the kids off
Okay.
over there.
So you and Cindy and
Her mother, because her mother was in the house before, and some of her cousins, they had to do polygraph.
is the mother living here right now or not?
No, she was, and she lives in. We took the mother because we found out that he's on drugs
She's on meth, yeah. her
and
father.
meth, and they beat her, so we took her over there. He was here, and then the CPS. The CPS went to their house in December, and they should have took the kids out of there. Like, look at the look of the house.
Yeah.
They get the locks on
I know
the
the
door,
house is
and the boy beat her, this and that. But why'd she stay there? That's what I told her.
I saw the house of Danny Martell and I saw this house. And I understand why she come here. She moved out the next day.
No, she could have went to her grandmother's in Bob Hill. You know how many times we tried to... She was at their grandmother's before they went there. Dan and her. He got 2 from a previous marriage. And those 2 that are missing are hers. Then they got the little girl together.
No, since you...
And he didn't like her.
What's that I'm reading in my chat, Darlene? Watching Justin. You mean over at Clutch? Justin go through Tint's video last night. Wade says the grandmother, Dan's mom, Janie, takes all their money. I knew she wasn't letting them stay there for nothing. She didn't want to lose. Yeah. Well, it's not the CPP. It's Malia's milk money you're insinuating. But that was on hold that month. And that was proof, according to the Globe and Mail, through a letter that they received from Canada Revenue Agency telling that they're cutting off benefits because of asshole not filing his taxes. They don't know how much they're supposed to give them because Daniel isn't that type of guy. If some of the cousins did polys too, they likely administered more than we know about. What do you mean? Listen, Tash, the poly doesn't mean fucking anything in the first place. Quit trying to associate it with some sort of guilt or innocence. Why people bring it up only shows that you don't really know what it's for in the first place. Not you personally, but the whole topic. Who gives a fuck? Okay? Has nothing to do with anything other than you know who the police were speaking to. That's all that matters. It's not a tool to do your job for you in the end. I couldn't believe it when I heard the video today for the first time. Which one? Vivalda. The one with Wade? My God. It's such a... It goes back and it tells you all of the issues. It allowed us into that window way back then. And this SA charge and everything, the others to come with it, forcible confinement, all have to do with what it is that Wade's explaining. Wade's expressing. Take it for what it is. How do you know she's on CPP, Darlene? It's hardly anything to begin with in that sense. Bonza didn't know how it works over there. Rent is an income. Was Janie declaring an income? Oh, I doubt it. Not declaring anything. She just lives there and that's it. The RV... The RV isn't a residence. It's just an old broken down dilapidated structure with wheels that she's decided to live in. Just my opinion. She's too busy with the washer spinner. Exactly why she wouldn't want to lose any of it. Well, there's plenty of lying going on, but I don't think that you're trying to tie it into motive to unalive the kids in that sense. No, it doesn't really matter. You don't need to think into it any more than we already know that money was an aggravating factor. They fought about money and the situation in the house. What do we know without relying on anything that they tell us? Well, we've brought it up. And it just resembles Daniel losing control and taking his aggression out on the one things he knew that he could hurt Malaya over, being her kids. Especially at that point in time where, she's meant to be dealing with Meadow, according to him, in that sense. And she probably used him or used Meadow as a shield to a degree because of how unpredictable he was. She referred to him as his partner. I would have to think that the breaking up, or there's some sort of conflict already right there at the day she did her at that moment in time that she did her interview with CTV. It's not your boyfriend, your fiance, your partner at that point in time. That's some distancing language if I've ever heard it. In this sense, I believe. Yeah, Jupo, something so easy he wouldn't go and do. They need to know because they're all living together. They had to eventually adjust what it was that they misrepresented to begin with, and they have to know how much because it's a family. They look at it as a family income. It's a contributing factor, and Danny not filing any is going to be a problem. They can't just disregard it. They can if you get out of the scenario. Like if you're with her and not doing anything, then it's a problem as well, regardless. And we know that that's what's going on. He'd been living off her for the previous 2 fucking years.
You've seen Lily and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that
Oh boy, so tuckered out.
everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanting to know like what happened. It's been from sadness to anger at this point. And I know the RCMP and major crimes are working around the clock trying to piece everything together, and I'm grateful for that. But it always leaves the question, 6 weeks has gone by, and we know at this point they're not in the woods. And where are they?
Did you feel in the beginning that they suspected you?
Of course. The stepfather was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
You felt that from the beginning?
Yeah.
But you don't feel that now?
No, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone. I told them I do drug tests because there's a lot of rumors online about a drug party. I know the person.
So already we can see at this point in time that he's lying to her. Why would you misrepresent? Who cares? It wasn't up to you to begin with. You volunteering it doesn't equate to any sort of innocence in any of this. Why are you so married to it? And why do you insist that that's how things are? Like, clearly you think that you're the smartest guy in the room, Danny, and you're clearly the exact opposite.
Person that said those rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No.
Was there any kind of gathering that
No.
someone might have thought was a party?
No.
There were no people at the house?
No. Not the night before.
Okay, you mentioned you offered to take a polygraph test.
Yeah.
Did the RCMP take you up on that?
Yes, they did.
And how did that unfold?
That unfolded in my favor. They obviously know I wasn't lying about anything.
So they said, yep, great, thank you, come in
Yeah.
for a polygraph test.
Yeah, it took a little while to set up, and
When did you do that test?
I don't know the exact date, but that would be at least 3 weeks ago, probably.
So roughly 3 weeks after the disappearance.
Yeah.
And I think most Canadians wouldn't have any idea what's involved with that. Can you describe the process? You go in and just tell us right from the start.
We go in, sit down in a big comfy chair, and they have multiple sensory pads. You have them underneath your forearms, you have them underneath your butt, and you have them underneath your feet with your shoes off. You have a sweat gland on one finger. You have a measuring instrument for blood flow that goes in and out of your hand. And you have a cuff on your arm for blood pressure to measure your pulse.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. Especially with the first question they asked you, did you kill Lily and Jack?
That was the first question they asked you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What went through your mind when someone's asking you that question so point blank like that?
Your mind has a massive release of chemicals, I guess you would call them.
Oh, they must have marked that down as a false positive then. No matter what it is, they're looking for you to react, your reactions. You're talking all about how nervous you are with this massive dump of endorphins or dopamine or whatever was tickling your anus from inside your own head there, fun boy. Oh, this massive release of chemicals, man. You're so deep, bro. You shouldn't be in there feeling anything. You're describing it as somebody who's guilty as fuck. Getting away with thinking that they're fooling the investigators at that point in time. As if you're in front of the CBC with a smirk on your fucking face thinking that you're just getting away with this. In reality, it's all an act. Deep down, he knows why he's lying. And he's afraid. That's what makes him do these things. He feels that he's more in control than just saying nothing or doing nothing. Innocent individual doesn't have the need to get in front of a camera and insist how he's not guilty of anything to do with whatever it is at that point in time that they think happened to Jack and Lily. Nobody seems to really want to put their finger on it. Specifically, the people that were put in place to protect them. And that's always suspect. No matter what they label or list it, you're always going to look guilty because you are guilty. Your guilt motivates, drives the need for approval from a bunch of strangers for your own ego. And beyond, and Janie's just as bad. You guys together are the craziest combo anybody has seen in so long. And you're evil. That's what makes this situation with Jack and Lily just so traumatizing to the world. It's the hook, because there's nobody out there that really believes Daniel and Janie are sitting there telling you the truth about anything, and they're just waiting for this to come to some sort of resolution, for somebody to do something. Trailhacker, I appreciate that, darling.
It's like your stress levels just astronomically through the roof, and your body doesn't know what to do, because it's not every day the way you're hooked up to machines in an interrogation room where someone asks you questions like that.
I got to think about the priority there. Still not even acknowledging the stress of a situation where two children have just magically disappeared from your property. No matter what, it should be priority number one. And Danny, oh geez, it's just, I'm happy to be here, everybody. I've passed the lie detector test finally. You guys can all, hey babes, you can all just soak me in your love and attention. That'd be fantastic. Send me some cash apps. He could have had a lovely little family, Chupo. I don't think so, not with him. He doesn't have the Attention span. LOL, he seemed pissed because the cadaver dog handler only saw him once on TV. Yeah, really what he's saying is he's pissed off because Daniel hasn't given the cops any information for them to be suspicious of him, according to himself. Like, the fact that you're even engaged in the conversation to begin with, you're already got your leg 1 foot in that cell. What's more evil than looking at those beautiful little faces and hurting them, or worse in your opinion? Blue Heron. I mean, it's got to be the worst of the worst. Like, listen, he had to have chosen violence and carried it out on 2 children. And while he was doing it, he was already planning on getting away with it. He didn't anticipate getting caught. He was that furious. And Janie saw and witnessed the rage, and instead of stop him, she's been made the most extreme form of an accessory after the fact because she comforted him legally. She covered for him, provided false alibi, a story. That's why she's crying. There's no reason to cry until you come to some sort of resolution about what the hell is even happening. But you guys want to play both sides. You are all acting as though you already know what's happened. These combos are the sickest too. I said they are sickly codependent before you can see that with every day that passes. Cali OG, he had a lovely family, a marriage with 2 children before Malaya. What happened? Drugs. The old lady kicked him out because he was tweaking probably. He was having all of these weird rape fantasies come out, these grape fantasies coming out and manifesting at the dinner table. What is with those little ankle socks, Danny? Maria, yes, that's what it looks like. A math attack on both little kids. Induced psychoses. If Janie's going down too, I can't wait. Absolutely, Robin. That's going to be fantastic. She's going to be pissed. She's going to be one angry prisoner. You can already tell. Probably going to be smearing her own feces like Ernie Shell around the cell. I could expect that from Janie. Those beautiful little faces, and I can't get the image out of this monster's face in that Xmas holding Lily as far away as possible. They just started dating each other at that point in time. It wasn't too far earlier, I believe, or before that. That was their first Christmas together. Oh, wasn't it just wonderful? First of all, why would you up and fucking move into Malaya's place while she lived with somebody else? Why would you want to? Why wouldn't you want to go out and get your own place together? You guys could play house. They didn't play house very well, though. I think Shotgun Janie's going to go down in a blaze of glory. Ain't no wee she's going to the clink. Oh, dude. They'll bring the tasers out on that punk ass. They've got no problem with that. Those are his power socks to help him outrun the helicopters, JM. Oh, that is not bad. That's not bad. That's a good one. Yeah. I think Shotgun, yeah. DM is full of it. A real polygraph would start out with basic questions to establish a baseline. Usually a question about unaliving would be restricted to one person per question, not JNL. Oh yeah, don't put it past him. He's not telling the truth about many things in this. He's up here because he's got a narrative to push. He thinks that he's smarter than everybody else at this point in time, Mr. Hands. I'm not going to allow Malaya to call her mommy. The hell do you care? Like, what sort of insecure son of a bitch does that? First of all, you should be encouraging her to get the fuck out. Get the hell up on out of here. Who needs you? More room for me. You can't cook. See ya. Know what I'm saying? You can't cook, baby. You can get the hell up and out of here. But I think the power dynamics changed because he had all of this figured out. He's got a new baby, a new reason to control Malaya, incorporate his style of parenting into the relationship. He probably had a kerfuffle with his mummy and saw shacking up with Malaya as an opportunity to show mummy how much she needed him. Let me think about that, River Rat. He probably had a kerfuffle with his mummy and saw shacking up with Malaya as an opportunity to show mummy. Yeah, he probably was eager to get the hell out of the trailer, especially after being married with a couple of kids. He was looking for a Band-Aid, a quick opportunity to get the fuck out. This is why he started dating on Facebook to begin with, because that's all he's got to do. Get high and scroll and attract random strangers. Hope that they go for him, just like he sees on TV. Wouldn't you know it? He got one. He hooked a sucker. And he moved in with her in 2 weeks. And things started going downhill from there. Started fighting with Patty. The last messages that Malaya got about him cheating her, was he cheating on her before she left? I don't know what you mean, Ginger's mom. The text messages that M got about him cheating, I've never seen those. Janie told Daniel to get a job, and he came back with a family full of benefits.
What other kinds of questions did they ask you?
All the questions pertain to the death of Lily and Jay. Are you accessory to the murder of Lily and Jay? They were all.
So all of the questions assumed that the children are no longer alive?
Yeah.
There were no questions at all about, did you take them somewhere? Could
No.
they be somewhere?
No.
The police have done a number of polygraph tests. They've done 53 formal interviews. Do you know who these people are?
Yeah.
That's a lot of interviews.
It is a lot of interviews. A lot of them are my family, people that live in the area. And those interviews, typically the interview was 4 hours. And a lot of the interviews from my family were 1-2 hours. So there's a lot of time taken up and they ask detailed questions.
Do you know who else actually took a polygraph test?
I mean, I do, but I'm not going to say anything that's going to impede the investigation.
Okay. When did you find out the result of your test?
Immediately right after.
What did they say to you?
You did a good job, you passed.
And how did that feel?
Good.
And did you feel that there was any further suspicion on you after that point, or was that sort of conclusive?
No, that was really when I seen the turning point for it starting to taper off with investigators.
Do you know if Malaya has taken one?
I don't know if I can say it, but I will anyway. Yes, she did take one.
Okay, she took one. Do you know the result?
No. RCMP wouldn't let tell me I asked.
You said you feel like everyone in the world wants to know what happened to Lily and Jack.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think this is getting so much attention?
Well, just the mysterious and nature of everything and how strange everything is. The RCMP, you know, I mean, they have to keep a tight lip on everything, but there's a lot more that meets the eye with the case.
Is there something that you think the public doesn't know that you can share, that you want the public to know?
That's a hard one because I don't want to impede the investigation in any way. It is still a missing persons investigation. It hasn't pivoted to any type of criminal investigation. But the kids were seen the day before. I know a lot of people didn't know that. I still see a lot of stuff online that the kids could have been missing for days. They were out of school for days, and they were seen in the Glasgow area on camera.
Yeah, am I buffering a little bit, guys? Okay. Thanks for being patient, yo. It's being temperamental here tonight. It says it wasn't dropping any frames, but about 40 minutes ago. Oh yeah, Ilyanka. AB, every time I buffer on your end, YouTube sends me an ad. Perfect. Thank you very much. It does help. Helps pay the bills, girl. So he knows all 80 people that were interviewed? Probably. I don't know about that. Maybe. We don't know about that, do we?
The day before this appearance in the afternoon.
Where was that?
I don't know if I can say that, but it was near the Highland Square Mall.
Was it with you?
It was with me, Malaya, and Meadow, and Willie and Jack were there too.
And are the police aware of that?
The police were aware of that since.
Do they have that video?
Yes, they do. I also talked to my coworker in the parking lot as well, and he verified that with investigators as well. So, for all the speculation, they were gone days ahead of time, or they were seen the afternoon on camera before the disappearance.
Why do you think the police are asking for video dating back, days before?
It's interesting how he answers that question rather than focus on all what should be factual, easy ways or ways that he could have proven that the kids made it back home, like the telephone call Malaya had with Cindy the day before, Thursday afternoon into the Thursday evening, where Malaya mentioned that she should have been able to see the kids on there. But Daniel didn't rely on that in the moment. He relied on even back further, making that still a question whether or not Jack and Lily made it home that night. Usually I just give them, and I shouldn't, the benefit of the doubt to get past it, but really it could be a no there as well. We don't know. They don't want to speak of it. They don't want to talk of it. We know that they haven't had food or changed their shoes. They don't want to really account for any point in the day from really about the time they got home at 3:37 according to Google Thursday onward until about 10:02 a.m. May 2nd, Friday.
For that?
Well, the reason for that is they want to see the traffic of the vehicles on the roads in the area, right? Maybe vehicles that were traveling that area a lot over the last few days prior to hand, or vehicles that weren't seen in the area, or vehicles that were seen in the area, like local people that are, making frequent trips past the house, or which it's all considered evidence. I mean, the more pictures and videos is the better.
They say they have hundreds of hours of video.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if they...
He's dodging that question too. Like, great job asking him open-ended questions. Oh, it's all evidence, we're just he's just treading this wishy-washy fence ride.
You found anything on those videos?
I think it was up to 2 weeks ago. They had footage that they examined for evidence that was 8 kilometers diameter out from the house. So That was after a month. That's how long it took to get footage and review it 8 kilometers out. So
But what's on the video?
I don't know. I'm only limited by what they tell me.
How often are they in touch with you?
Investigators now, I'd say maybe once every 5 days. And usually I'm the one who calls or messages them.
And how's that changed over the course of the 6 weeks?
Well, from the beginning it was almost daily, tapering off to where it's only like once every 5 days now.
And how do you feel about that?
It's good and bad. I mean, I like to talk to them in person about any little small details I come up with or anything I can try to bring to their attention which may help the investigation. So I don't get to see them often, so it's always over phone or messaging, and it's hard to really convey what you want to say when you're not in person. But then I also know the eye's not on me. The investigators don't see me as part of the disappearance.
You know, you got to consider that to be leakage, in my opinion. You're talking about Jack and Lily, and your priority should be who took the kids, what happened to the kids, should your story be legitimate. And you're talking about the situation in good and bad, and talking specifically about how, again, you're misreading the situation and misinterpreting it for others, disinforming on it, claiming that you're somehow innocent of something that nobody at that point in time is really talking or thinking about, because you've done all of this work trying to convince us that you're searching forever in these woods for those kids. Now, at what point did you stop that there, Danny boy? Whatever time period that was is far too late than the 5 minutes that it should have taken you to change your mind in the moment. DM calls them to make sure he is not a suspect, and Dickwood tried to do the same thing. Exactly. RCMP are not telling them anything. Justice is coming, in my opinion. I can't wait. I can't wait for Darren Getty's perp walk. Oh! He's going to have to be there. You know what I'm saying? Why is Darren Getty's there at Garlock Road the day that Janie calls over the CBC to do their interview? Fucking guy is deep into this as an accessory after the fact, if he's not already involved with the transport and helping them dispose. He's in this as an accessory. He's always there. He's always trying to conjure up a new plan, like this was another episode of Inspector Gadget, excuse me. Dun, 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 dun. Inspector Gadget. Dun, 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 dun. I'll get you again, Gadget. Eyes not on you. Do you realize, DM, that Jack and Lily are missing? You never mentioned them at all. You know what I mean? That's right, Helicopter Grandma. Extreme avoidance throughout all of this interview as well. Like, no real tied emotions. Listen, somebody just stole 2 kids from your property, apparently. How do you feel? Oh, good. I'm good. A lot better now. I'm finally getting over it. Woo! Finally getting back to normal around here. Janie's moved back into the house. Things are getting back to where that they should be. Did you have to change rooms, Danny? Did Janie move back in and kick you out of the master bedroom, the master suite in that old broken down, dilapidated trailer? You should smash those cars right up into your trailer. You smash the cars, see what you couldn't get out of insurance for that. Get your car. Make sure you take out some home insurance on that, though. Michelle MBM is harder to read because she looks like she's always in her escaped reality. I think that was her. She was. Think about living there on the daily, how difficult it would have been for Malaya. Always being told you got postpartum because you're acting different. Janie gaslighting you. You got this weirdo fucking Logan dropping in. You know, she's disrespecting your home because it's not even really your place. It's Janie's, who's out in the RV, just tells Logan to go in whenever you want. Disrespect the home. Don't even take your shoes off. Well, why? There's holes in the floor. I guess you got a point. Behaving like Chris Watts, the twat. Is that what you're saying, Norbeaster?
How do you know that?
Well, when you're going from daily to tapering off every 5 days, I mean, I already gave them everything on my phone. I'm the one who originally said, here, take my phone. We'll go through all my banking information. We'll go through all my stuff on my GPS from Google.
Oh, well, I'm the one who said, let's do it. I'm the one who... How does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? This is what ties up your conversation in this interview. How suspect. This didn't go very well for you, dude. Like, what? Listen. It's not like you have a choice. Oh, it was my idea. I came up with it. You know, you could cut all the bullshit out and said, I did everything as much as I can to help clear my name in all of this. Why won't the RCMP clear my name? Let's talk about it. Force them to clear your name if you are indeed free of sin and crime in this situation. We know that you're not. You're guilty AF in all of this, Danny boy. And you're needing and you're wanting to put it off onto Malaya because she's nowhere around, talking out in public like you are, voluntarily putting your foot in your mouth. That's what these charges have done to you. Whoops. Logan calling your children animals. It would be hell on earth living there, Darlene says. You bet Janie and Daniel are living the best life. LOL, Beverly Hillbillies, here we come. Don't forget the snakes crawl at night.
And you were offering all that up right from the
Yeah, I
beginning.
offered everything.
And why were you doing that?
To show them that I want to get the investigation moving. I know I have nothing to do with any of it.
With any of what? I got nothing to do with any of it. I know that. Whatever it is that you're thinking. What is this thing you keep referring to? Hey, so, you know, there's a good possibility that old Danny, in all of the time that he was away, especially he was away, there's a reason he left Garlock Road after May the 2nd call to the RCMP, where he didn't have his phone. There's a reason for that. The reason probably has to do with moving evidence or the bodies of Jack and Lily. Both. He had all of the opportunity in the world because, one, immediately after he was avoiding them, everybody left and stopped searching that day and had a sleep. You had all kinds of time throughout the night and the day. Maybe you didn't move from the house, maybe you did, but the next day, under the guise of going out and searching, you left your phone at home on purpose. The cops were interested in your movements at that point in time for the exact same reason that we're bringing it up. Robin Edwards, oh, you think you outsmarted the cops, Danny boy? I got news for you. Esther calls you Inspector Dan the Man. Darlene, that was just said wrong and people ran with it. It's just truth. Anita Bonita MBM was doing rugs and he was probably giving her more to make sure that she was zombified and stayed in bed so she couldn't leave. Well, there's that. So let's talk about that for a second, Anita. There would be, we know that there's substances within the house. It would be a probable scenario that Daniel, should he try to sedate the kids, that it would be both kids. Did he give them a sippy cup that was mixed up? Was he doing it very often? Was he doing it to try to do what? I mean, but there's a situation that you could present where the kids could ingest something that they were given and passed. Just my opinion, says builds her up, then breaks her down day after day. Well, tell me if this we haven't already been here, for example. Every level of coercive control. This list right here is an interesting one. Because you could fit, and we've heard a portion of, because of the relationship between Daniel and Malaya, each and every step of this particular, should we call it the escalation of coercive control in intimate partner violence. The categories: isolation, monitoring, micromanaging, gaslighting, threats, love bomb, to devalue, financial, sexual, reputation, and the rules. So the category isolation, Danny cuts you off from friends and family. You could say that that's what happened when they left Patty's, along with what he's up on charges for right now. Real life example of that would be like, I don't like you talking to your mom. Why it's controlling is it shrinks your support network. Talking about the category in this ever-ending cycle. The sign, Danny, we know, tracks Malaya's phone, the location. Danny wants to tell the RCMP that's what they do because they love one another. That's not what loving people do. We all know that. A real life example is sharing locations 24/7 and demanding the same. He almost fills this to a T. It's normalizing surveillance. It's controlling because it normalizes surveillance, Danny. The category of micromanaging, the controlling clothes, food, schedules, or lack thereof. A real life example of that would be Danny wanting Malaya to wear the black top, not the red top. And this is controlling because it erodes Malaya's autonomy. Now comes the category of gaslighting, which is the denial of somebody's reality. Danny loves to say this. He's gaslights nonstop, especially in the circumstance, which has got to be just an extension of the relationship he had with Malaya. Quote, Danny saying, that never happened. You're crazy. And it's controlling because it makes you doubt clarity or sanity or your own sanity. Danny's not afraid of using threats, which is another category. And he uses this fear in order to get the other person to comply to their wishes, of course. A real life example of that would be Danny saying, if you leave, you'll regret it. Probably what happened in this situation many times. And it's controlling because it's meant to keep you trapped. A category in this cycle called the love bomb, to devalue. The signs are flooding with affection, kind of like the flooding of affection that we read earlier on in those statements to Taylor. So these floods you with affection, and then he withdraws all this affection as it's a punishment to you. So that here it comes. Do you remember what he was telling Taylor in the messages that he sent a few times about the reasons why he wasn't sending her messages? That's part of that love bombing cycle. A real life example of that would be sending 50 texts a day and then giving her the silent treatment. And it's controlling because there's an addiction to approval involved. Next category in this cycle is financial. Danny's controlling the money and the access to money. A real life example would be like Danny saying, "Give me your paycheck." Designed to control you like an economic cage. Now comes Danny's favorite, the asexual. There's pressure and it coerces intimacy. A real life example would be Daniel telling Malaya that you owe me after getting her a gift. Like maybe he went and got her some poutine and he said, "Now you owe me, girl. You owe me a little cuddle." But in a way, that's a lot different than the way I'm putting it now. And it's controlling because, of course, it's not his body, it's somebody else's. The category of reputation. Danny loves to threaten to ruin other people. "I'm going to ruin you." Derwood loves to say those same things. Real life example is Danny telling Malaya, "I'll tell everybody that you're something or other." That's a lie, of course. And it's designed to control you through silencing of your dissent towards his demands. The category of these rules, which is an interesting point to bring up in consideration to the rules that Jack and Lily had to follow within this household. The sign, of course, unwritten laws only you must follow. A real life example of that would be like Daniel's allowed to flirt, but Malaya cannot. It's a double standard. It's controlling.
A lot of speculation is you killed the kids. It come out and say it straight as it is.
What do you think when you read that?
It's a lot of nonsense, obviously. I know the truth. I didn't kill Lily and Jack. And I just think a lot of people online they're seeking drama. That's the main thing.
Interesting that he says, "I didn't kill Lily and Jack," rather than or.
Everybody's allowed their own opinion, like I said before, but it's hard on the people that were actually there and missing the children. Still haven't got to see any of my kids, including Lily and Jack, and that's been really tough, going from a family of 7, including my other 2 kids that live in Halifax now. Going from a family of 7 in the blink of an eye, your family's ripped apart and you're left alone.
Yeah, little anchor drag there. Trawl down at the bottom for some sympathy. Not getting any. Nuh-uh. Come on, advertisement. We've got to do this the old-fashioned way.
Without the celebration, his loved ones say they wish they were having cake instead of a vigil.
It's Jack's 5th birthday. It's something that he should be here to celebrate in person. We shouldn't be where we are. So it's very important that we had the time to do this.
This is my birthday promise to Jack. Every step is a prayer whispered to the wind, a hope that a search may help our hearts to mend. We hold steadfast the pictures of Lily and Jack, seeking answers to bringing them back.
About 40 people gathered outside the Stellarton RCMP detachment to hear poems, speeches, and shed tears for the 2 young children, all while holding on to hope.
Both of them deserve better. We deserve answers.
They should be crying like that, hoping that or wishing that their family wasn't so damn inbred.
They need to be brought back home safe. It's been 6 months, too long.
This case has truly affected many, as is demonstrated here this evening. I can assure you that we have not wavered in our commitment to determine what has happened to Lily and Jack. Our major crime investigators are working every day to determine the circumstances of their disappearance.
It marked the first time since May loved ones from all sides of the family.
Oh God! Did you see that? Right here. That's Logan. That's Logan, and that's her cameo. That's her cameo on the CBC. Now she's exposed herself to the world as the internet's #1 catfish. Girl, you're so jealous of Malaya Brooks Murray and how you perceived her to be some sort of sex kitten of Daniel's. Now look at what you've gotten yourselves into. You were jealous of Malaya. You go around and talk down about how you're so much better looking than Malaya under all kinds of these comments underneath Facebook. That's you, Logan. We know it's you. You should be ashamed of yourself, girl.
Since May, loved ones from...
What are you laughing about? What? You just laughed to the camera. That's not a cry. Look at this. Look at this laugh. Duping delight. She's over there. I'm helping. Look at the sinister look, and she's looking right at the camera. Yeah, this should sell it for old Janie. Janie, are you looking, girl? We've really got one over on these suckers. She's not crying. That's not emotion. That's duping delight. Look it. Let's watch. Well, I'll put it on mute for a second. Slow it down. Watch this. Oh, are they looking at me? See? Hey, it's like that moment where you get that evil thought in your head. Oh, yes, Satan, it's me. I can't help myself. She's fucking going. She's nuts. It's my time to shine. Satan's returned. The Dark Lord all bow before me. She's caught. The Dark Lord. Oh, I see you now. Hello. Oh, don't look at me laugh. Don't look at me laugh. Where's Haley? What's Haley doing? Where's my boy Daniel? Danny, let's go. They've caught me. I was laughing on camera. I was laughing in an inappropriate way on the camera. Oh, look they're over there trying to have a smoke, trying to rejoice. By the way, I hate to point it out. Look at how wide Logan's is. Is it just the coat? I don't know, girl. That is one wide load, girl. Look. I hear the sound. They just blew the dog whistle. The dogs of hell, the hellhounds. The silent whistle. Oh, was that a whistle? Yes, hello, everybody at home. Ha 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 ha. We found the devil. You can't wait. You got in front of that camera on purpose. You did this on purpose. Why would you even look into the camera and laugh and smile like you did? Oh, I've really got to impress upon the audience just how much this is making me cry, because that's some sort of measurement to the public as to how much I care about Jack and Lily. These are the things that the CBC are telling us through their fantastic editing and production work. Don't worry about the things that they say, but you've got to give them their due for bringing us good camera angles like this. Thank you, CBC employees. You are not making enough. Did somebody rip a fart? Oh, get me by my good side. Hello. Oh. Now she's shying away from the camera. Get me on my good side. This is my good side. She's just got to get back into the light. Now you can see my... very beautiful. She's got several chins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Not bad for a Holstein.
Tensions have been high since the children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, left her boyfriend, Daniel Martell, at the search scene the day after Jack and Lily.
That's a funny way to term it. What? That was really funny, CBC, for the CBC. Holy shit. Say that again. But it was true.
Children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, left her boyfriend, Daniel Martell, at the search scene.
Yeah, that.
Together. Tensions have been high since the children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, left her boyfriend, Daniel Martell, at the search scene.
Left her boyfriend, Danny Martell, and they show a picture of him and Logan. That's the new wife. That's the new girl. And they're cousins. They've been together since they were very small. Well, your Malaya left you, now here's your new wife.
At the search scene the day after Jack and Lily disappeared.
I didn't miss the first vigil, and I would definitely not miss this one. Definitely not on Jack's birthday.
What the hell's going on in the background there? Something tells me that Kent's back there trying to sell shit to people. Guys, we're trying to spread some awareness for this, and I've got a table filled with bracelets, stickers, and different things in a box here. You can send me your money, and I'll get all kinds of stationery and crafts together, and I'll glue and make some larger signs. Because that's what I do. Because that's really needed. Not. This guy's a fucking scumbag bastard. He didn't even sell you a hamburger. It would have been better if he had hot dogs and hamburgers here, rather than trying to sell you some bracelets so he can fool you to get your trust in that moment, to sell it for the suspects, Janie and Daniel. Fucking disgusting display of exploiting a situation. He's fucking hands-on. He's dirty. Goddamn playground watcher.
It's an important date for everybody over the last 6 months, and I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Brooks Murray did not attend the vigil. Her family says she quietly marked Jack's birthday with her mother, and gifts from the vigil would be delivered to her. The children's paternal grandmother, Belinda Gray, says she appreciates the outpouring of support.
People have beautiful hearts, and I know if we give them a chance, everybody can help.
Yeah, except Darren Geddes and Kent Corbett. Except those two fucking assholes. You know, this Belinda, you got to give her credit for trying to say something positive about people when it means the most. See, you don't have to lie and disinform like everybody else is doing. No, Belinda is being put on the spot, and she's choosing not to focus on the negative aspects of what she has to deal with, regardless if douchebag Kent or Darren Geddes is there or not.
Everybody can help, and everybody wants to help. So I think this is beautiful.
Angela McIver, CBC News, Stellarton.
Let's go get a load of this. The Global should make a playlist, the Jack and Lily playlist. 46 videos on CBCs. It's not my favorite, but they have some early great shots. They got great cameramen, and they've got great production teams and editors in the back, for sure. It's usually how it goes.
6-year-old Lily Sullivan and her brother, 4-year-old Jack Sullivan, are still missing in this rural area of northeastern Nova Scotia. The RCMP is the lead agency here, along with EHS, hundreds of search and rescue crews from Halifax to Cape Breton. During the daytime, there are anywhere from 100 to 140 search and rescue crews in the woods, and the search continues all night. They deploy between 60 and 75 search and rescue crews in the woods all night long. So each searcher will work a 12-hour shift before they have to take a rest. There are 3 helicopters in the air, and there are dogs as well involved in this search, drones too. Search and rescue officials are keeping very close track of which sections of this area around Lansdowne have been searched, and once that area is covered, they move on, and they say it's important that no one wander in. Incidentally, this search has been the first assignment for the Nova Scotia Provincial Guard. They aren't directly involved in the search, but they're helping with traffic, protection of parked vehicles overnight, and just generally giving directions to people who are coming and going, those involved in the search and rescue effort. Earlier today, we spoke to the partner of the 2 children's mother.
Oh yeah, just a clapping seal. Peddling knickknacks, branding a child's and a family's trauma, and wanting to convince people that the individuals involved here, who are not technically their family and who are responsible for what's going on, not to mention obviously lying to the public at every step of the way, promoting them, trying to gain innocent individuals' trust in the moment. That's malicious. That's disgusting, Kent. Like, that's misconduct level. Anyone know when Cindy's interview is supposed to be aired? I didn't know that there was one. That'd be great if she did say something, but I don't expect it at this point. I can't wait to see her in the courtroom. Maybe she's going to be her daughter's voice going into that courtroom. I would hope so. That would be just fantastic. And you know what I hope she does? I hope she talks shit about Janie. I hope she shit talks Janie all over the news. It's hard to get a good gauge on things when everybody is always gaslighting you, and that's what's going on and has been going on in Malaya's life. Who knows what she thinks that she's going through at any one moment in time, because her reality is being denied in that sense by way of Daniel. The difference between Janie and Belinda is night and day, Jupo says. Well, it's like, you remember The Wizard of Oz and the Wicked Witch of the West and the Good Witch of the North? It's like that. Yeah, there's a stark contrast. I'd say that's Belinda said more positive things in 2 sentences on the news than Janie has said for the amount of content that she's brought us. Think about the sheer level of audio footage that there is of Janie talking. Derwood doesn't even match it. There's a lot of Dickwood too. What do you guys call him? What are you guys calling him? Kentwood. These 2 fucking guys. We're going to get to find out exactly how they're involved. There's no turning back. Maybe I should ask Kent, says Helicopter Grandma, to make some bracelets and stuff so I can get on a plane 4 hours to help search for Lily and Jack. I don't recommend that sort of thing. It's taking advantage of a bunch of people in panic that are looking for all kinds of ways to try to help a situation that they think exists. There's all kinds of ways to do that, but you are delivered it a certain way by a certain group of individuals. That's the problem here. Kent's a fucking criminal. And he's a dirty criminal. And you can tell. Depicts his nose on camera. shitting himself. He's got his all kinds of cum stains on his shirt. He's on the CBC talking into a microphone. Hadn't trimmed that nasty fucking cookie duster in God knows how many months. That's some frickin' lazy, pal. That's some lazy. Can anyone else imagine him yelling, love you, as they bring him to his cell? Norbeast, are you imagining things like that? I wonder what he's going to tell other prisoners when he's in there. I wonder what his cover story is going to be. How are you going to tell all of the prisoners what you're in there for? That's going to be a problem. He's going to have some trouble. He's going to have to check out early. Can anyone imagine him yelling? Yeah, sorry, I read that one. Helicopter, there will be a publication ban. Oh, no way, Truth Form. No, there won't. There won't be any publication. It's a matter of public safety. There'll be the same old reporters in the court. You can go in there off the street and you can go in and report too. That's what many of you creators who are out there in Nova Scotia should do. Get there early and get a seat in court. You're allowed to. You can't live stream or anything like that. There'll be a ban on doing anything like that, but you can go out and tell a group of people what was just said and what was going on. Which is, in my opinion, even more fun. Even more fun. That's how it used to be. You know, before OJ in that sense. Used to get great shots, great pictures of people on the stand in court. And, the reporter would be sitting there taking dictation. And you get the story, you get the deal. You get the skinny. You know what's going on. And you don't have to go through all of the lull. You get the story, as you will, the proper story, beginning, middle, and end. I wonder if Derwood and Kent held hands as they got matching lobster tattoos. How did you know about those? Is that true, Blue Heron? They're like Mr. Leahy and Randy on that Trailer Park Boys. Has anyone seen if they're doing a GoFundMe for Danny's defense? River Rat. Yeah, you can send, you want to send money for Danny's defense, you send it to my PayPal.
Here's some of what he had to say about Jack and Lily.
Lily and Jack are awesome kids, very, very kind. They'll talk to anyone. They want to go with anyone. They're just looking to have as much fun as they can.
Can you believe that? This is the first thing that Danny said to the CBC. And you go and fuck up like that? What is this? What are they, little party animals? Isn't that the same thing that you put on your Grindr profile? This is a 4 and 6 year old child. So the first things that they've said, they've almost immediately contradicted. No, they would never wander off in the woods on their own. They needed help to go and do anything around here, especially Jack. So you're out there searching. You couldn't get this guy to even come across to you in the room because he was scared of you. He disliked you that much. So it's so absurd. Your stories have changed. That's a problem for the cops. Doesn't matter how nice you put it. Your stories changed. There's a problem with that. There's a reason they changed, because they had to, because we know the kids aren't in those woods. A 4 and a 6 year old, there's a problem with them choosing to up and leave and disappear into nowhere in the middle of the morning, according to you, while you and Janie were magically sleeping and dozing in and out of sleep, as though that's an actual defense. And then come out and tell people that you weren't asleep by any means. Like, there's not much more that you're going to need to know that you're lying for any member of a 12-person jury and the backups. You can't stop noticing that damn t-shirt now, his tap-out t-shirt. Are you stuck on the brand? So he's all about pushing brands, no different than Kent's trying to brand Jack and Lily. Look at all these pretentious, disingenuous things we're doing here. Oh, yeah. Kent probably has a paper list GoFundMe and takes cash. Oh, my fucking God. No shit. Roasting. Shenanigans, they'll be selling them very soon. I can't stop noticing that damn t-shirt now. Interesting helicopter, Grandma. I hope you can. Jupo, hang on. Malaya was doing laundry at her mom's. Does that mean that outdoor washing machine of Janie's doesn't work? Well, that's, of course, it's garbage on the front lawn. It's rusty. She's got to wash her spinner inside, though. When she says wash her spinner, I imagined like it's a manual like thing that she got at the TSC store. That t-shirt must stank. Well, just imagine. Who's doing his laundry for him now? Norbeaster, he's not laughing now. Thank you for reminding him.
Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, and anything like that. But Lily loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack, bugs. They're like best friends, not just brother and sister.
He says he's also hoping police...
Awesome kids, very, very kind.
Usually you say that about it in the opposite manner. They're not just best friends, they're like brother and sister. Seriously, Daniel, you'll reap what you have sown in this life. Yeah, very soon too, starting March 2nd, by the way.
They'll talk to anyone, they want to go with anyone. There's just looking to have as much fun as...
Looking just to have as much fun as possible. Think about everything that we know thus far. And he's already caught a felony. 2. He's on the hook for 2 felonies coming up. You may as well just plead guilty and take it as you can get it. What, are you going to plead not guilty? That's going to be embarrassing. Can you afford that? Can you afford her to come out and speak against you in public? Get that out of the way. And really, she's going to blow the horn. Think about how much more information could possibly come out in court that would go against Daniel in this Jack and Lily situation. It paints a darker history of the individuals involved. And I'm not talking about Malaya. I'm talking about the brute that kidnapped her, forcibly confined her.
as I can. There's just looking to have as much fun as I can. Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, and anything like that. But Lily loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack, bugs. They're like best friends, not just brother and sister.
He says he's also hoping police monitor the New Brunswick border and the airports for any sign of the two children. But RCMP tell us this afternoon they're not considering any possible abduction here. As far as they're concerned, they're looking for two young children who simply wandered away.
I know that there's a lot of people pulling for these kids to come home. We've heard a lot about the impact that this is having on the community at large and the family, and it's really important that we locate these children and get the information from the scene here and from anyone who might have information about the kids and their habits. So it's been really important to have engagement from anyone who...
We hear what you're saying there, Copper. Robin Edwards in my chat makes a spectacular point. If a point can be spectacular, they will be interrogated again now that the RCMP have all their inconsistent interviews, chat, and Facebook comments, in your opinion. Yeah, that's part of the forensics that they've been collecting all of this time. Yeah, we needed that time to go by for it to happen, right? So it's one of those things. It's definitely working against old Danny boy. I wonder if that washer was running with Daniel's clothes in it when she wouldn't let them check it. Anyone hear the washer going that day? Interesting point, Truth. Maybe. Maybe they took an interest in it. All kinds of salt water, maybe, that he needed to wash off. Sandra says, as much fun as possible is bugs, full-time bug diggers, and asking for food and water. Yeah, and they're just looking to have as looking for a good time in the middle of the bush. A couple of kids. That's the opposite of what kids have to have, which is a nice structured schedule in that sense. They're just making it out, looking that they just got out looking for a good time. They wanted to go, bar hopping or something. Yeah, don't worry about it. They're out bar hopping. They're looking for a good time. They'd go with anybody who offered them a little bit of weed, a little bit of water. At this point, they're drunk. It's 2 a.m. He's a 4 and a 6-year-old child. You wonder if that washer was running with Daniel's clothes in it. I read that one. That's a good point, by the way. I like that. Possibly. Strong possibility. His stupid tap-out shirt and that Temu chain probably has left his neck stained.
Knows these kids.
A spokesperson for the Chignecto Central Regional Center for Education tells us the 2 children were students at Salt Springs Elementary School. Their stepdad told us they'd both been out sick all week before disappearing on Friday. The school has additional support staff on site at Salt Springs if anyone needs that support. Meanwhile, the search will continue into the night here in the Lansdowne area of Pictou County for young Jack and Lily Sullivan. RCMP and search and rescue officials tell us they will have search and rescue crews on the ground. They'll have dogs with them, and they'll have drones in the sky.
Before you choose to do any acts of kind gestures in this situation, wait until this situation plays out. It's far too early to be doing anything. People are talking about things like that. When you do things and you don't know the circumstances, it ends up being a curse. Especially when it comes to Salt Springs Elementary. Having all of these greasy mofos who are enabling the suspects be incorporated into fundraising to make memorials is really trying to bring a resolution to something a little bit too early. And I say a little bit because it's better than yelling. It's inappropriate and immoral, but it won't always be that way. Stop trying to virtue signal to make it look like you're so much more astute than the people that are concerned in watching you. There's all kinds of shenanigans and shitheads going on when it comes to this particular case. Not new people. It's the same individuals. It's Danny. It's Derwood. It's Kent. It's their little gang of suspects. It's the suspects and their enablers. It all comes back to Dan. It all comes back to Dan. And Dan and Janie, their stories and their situation is tied into this as though they're as equally responsible for what it is that happened to Jack and Lily. More likely Daniel, in my opinion, but we don't know yet. We don't know what the RCMP know. They're the ones who are collecting all of the evidence. We're not privy to all of that evidence yet. And it's heartwarming to recognize the fact that they're already way ahead of us in acting upon the perpetrators in order to paint a greater picture, a more accurate depiction of the Jack and Lily situation after these particular charges are brought forth and ran down his fucking neck. He's going to be found guilty AF in this, and he's going to do all he can to cower away of having to talk or explain or approach. He's just going to accept. That's going to be his best bet. There's no way that he's going to be talking in front of a microphone, putting himself on record for anything else. He already is getting a little bit too close to the fire. Vivaldi Griffin, God bless you, darling. Hey, I just like hearing how you saw or say my name. Oh, Vivalda. Thank you. It's like a cheese. It's like a fine cheese, Vivalda. Viv. I appreciate that. Norbeaster, they all spoke past tense. Malaya spoke in past tense. Loss, remorse, guilt. Sorrow was associated with remorse. Loss, guilt, regret. Yeah, they're all preemptively, pretending that the kids are out there while telling you that they, Malaya spoke with her behavior, but Janie and Daniel, it's not looking very good for her. I would have to think that Janie's a little bit concerned, considering Daniel's going to get his ass handed to him in court. She's going to be sensitive as to the information that he shares, as to not bring her into any of this, especially when they're out proving he's lying. Who knows what the information that they're going to be talking about. It's going to be a whole lot more than what's written down in that paper. That's just what's on their mind in that moment, right? We probably don't want to know all of it, but we're going to have to go there at some point. We can wait till court. Friends, it's 2.5 hours. Thank you for sticking it out with me tonight, by the way. We're going to be back tomorrow. Daily coverage. Can't wear ourselves out, though. Daddy needs to go get some food. Helicoptergramma, thank you very much for being here, River Rat. Maybe Janie will get into a dog training program through prison, vocational school. Maybe she'll transition into a dog. I wonder how they treat dogs in prison. Maybe she'll become a dog. Why wouldn't you? Any way that she can disassociate from this situation, the better. At some point in time, she's going to be an easy person to use against Daniel in all of this, because when you go into cross-examination and you call Janie as a witness, getting her up on the stand, it's not going to be very difficult to trip her up in her lies. Like, that's how bad it is. And imagine how we take her. Imagine how she's going to sound in court in front of a bunch of, like, a jury and under a little bit of different stress in that situation. This isn't the CBC anymore. This isn't Amy on the CBC, baby. These are 12 jurors of your peers. And she's going to be easily gotten, tripped up, used as an example, a contradiction to what it is that Daniel is saying, especially when it comes to anything time related. But it's interesting how they know all of the times and the time frames, and they just want to convince you that time's not of any importance. If you acknowledged and realized all of the time in which you forgot, it would be on purpose rather than a genuine disassociation from reality and unable to conceive of the concept of it to begin with. You know what I mean? That it would be a factor in it. That's just garbage talk. Kind of like them pretending to be in and out of sleep. They almost immediately acknowledged that something else happened. Right away, they've normalized that. I'll leave you with some of that J-Funk, G-Funk, y'all.
Da 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 da